Hello guys, this is your boy Redditor, and today I have an interesting story for you. Let's check it out.
I was left millions of dollars by an older man I used to casually date, and I sort of feel wrong for accepting it. So, I am still in shock writing this post and I haven't told anyone yet, not even my husband. I think the first thing I need to do is speak with my husband and then decide what we want to do. I am not sure how he will feel about this. I'm going to go on a whole ride here because this is still so unbelievable. I, 25 female, was left millions of dollars by an older guy I used to date. Back in 2017 when I was in college, I went to Florida to spend the summer with my uncle. I used to frequent the Los Olas area, and one evening while I was out with some friends who lived in Florida, I met an older gentleman. I was 20 at the time, not a lot of experience with men or anything really. This guy was in his early 60s but definitely looked 45 max. We started dating and mostly, I would just attend these high-end events with him like galas and yacht parties and travel around the States a lot. At this time, his wife had just passed on a year ago, and during the summer I met his son casually at a dinner party at his place. I would run into his son whenever I was at his place and we had a good relationship. Dating this guy was super refreshing, like, a finer kind of life I was never really used to. It was just a fun time, and all throughout this time, we never slept together once. We would kiss and cuddle, but he never initiated lovemaking. It was just great conversation really. He told me about all his life experiences and how he made his money. He was into real estate, investing, and the hotel industry. He gave me a lot of advice about money, etc. In the back of my mind, I knew he had money of course, but I didn't realize he had this much money. Anyway, I was in college for nursing. I am now in CVICU nurse, and at the end of the summer I had to go back to the north for school. A few days before I left, he actually sat me down and asked me if I really wanted to finish school. He basically was asking me to quit school and move to Florida with him and just kind of be his trophy girl. Which honestly is what I was during the summer. I thought about it, and even though it seemed easy, I honestly didn't know a whole lot about this man, and I never saw myself as that person. I wanted the career, and the degree, and to make my own money. I never ever asked him for money or for anything at all. I just genuinely enjoyed his company. I wanted to continue to date him however, but he said he couldn't do the long distance, and if we were going to date he would want me to live with him. For me, it was just all too soon. And with a huge age gap, I wasn't sure this was something I wanted long term. We ended up going our separate ways, but we still kept in touch, checked in on each other every couple of months. Just hellos and goodbyes. I eventually got married. I of course told my husband about that relationship because it did mean a lot to me and I did care about him. The last time I spoke to him was about 3 months ago. Well, the executor of his estate contacted me a few days ago. A few hours later his son also called me and we talked for a long time about him and how he passed. Honestly, at first I didn't believe that it was real, but after talking with his son, wow. His son told me this guy talked about me so much and that he told him I pulled him out of depression and sadness after his mom died. His son told me I meant a lot to him because the time I came into his life was a really rough time and I made it better. I feel so many emotions because I never knew our relationship meant so much to him. I am very grateful he thought of me, and I am still not sure if I should accept this money. I am a nurse, and while nurses don't make millions, I make good money to live a comfortable life. My husband also has a great job as well. I will be talking with my husband about it soon. I don't really know a lot about money, but yeah. I'm still in shock. I never thought I would ever have this amount of money my entire life. Update the next day. So I spoke with my husband yesterday and he said the choice of whether to accept it or not is entirely up to me. He said money like that could forever change our lives of course, but at the end of the day, if I'm not comfortable accepting it then I shouldn't. So, I have decided to accept it. Just thinking about being able to retire my parents gives me so much joy. Thanks for all the advice and input. I appreciate it all. One commenter said, "Yup, be willing to talk to and be flirtatious with men older than your parents. Sometimes possibly even sleeping with them. Boom, get rich." And the writer responded, "Sometimes good companionship is more meaningful than intimate escapades." Not saying we both weren't attracted to each other, but it was more than that. And also, you can form lasting relationships with people your own age. There are a lot of high-value men in their 30s who will give you the world if they can and not abuse and take advantage of you, but of course you should treat them the way you want to be treated. Just be genuine. I have dated men who are way well off in their 20s. There is nothing wrong with wanting to date someone who is financially capable. Society makes it seem like there is something wrong with that. I've never asked any man I've ever dated for money or other things. You become your environment and the people you hang around. I've learned a lot about investing and real estate just by being among this crowd. Sometimes that knowledge is way more important than anything else. And if they happen to be 20, 30, 40 years older than you, so what? My husband isn't a millionaire of course, but he makes good money and he for sure is a high-value man that will take care of me in many ways, and I will do the same for him.